kind of jostle for the chairmanship seat of the People's Democratic Party. The man who went to court for the removal of Senator Yocha Ayu has his eyes set on replacing him. I'm being joined by Mr. Conrad Utaan, who is an aspirant for the chairmanship seat of the People's Democratic Party. Thanks so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you, Sean, for having me.
So this was all your game plan, that if you go to court, Ayu is removed, then you become the national chairman?
Absolutely not. What we did in June 2023 was an intervention. I did not remove the former national chairman.
But you went to court?
His council would remove him from office. They suspended him for not paying dues. And of course, like you see in Senate climbs, when you lead the party to such a colossal defeat, the most honorable thing would have been for him to have stepped aside. What I did was an intervention to bring some kind of sanity, to bring some kind of stability. That stability is what, that relative stability is what the PDP is enjoying right now, to the extent that we can even be talking about replacing the former national chairman. So what we did was not out of personal ambition, but was out of a personal sacrifice to intervene and save the party at that time.
So last Thursday, you officially announced your interest for the PDP chairmanship seat.
Exactly.
And so why do you want to become PDP chairman?
Okay, so parties around the world are meant to craft policies, you know, to set agenda for government, not necessarily just to conduct primaries and hold elections and then meet again every 4 years. Party leadership in this country has been reduced to just conducting primaries, holding elections, and not necessarily participating in governance, so to speak. I represent a new agenda. I bring to the table new energy, new thinking to party leadership in Nigeria. I count myself as a prime asset to the party. You know, the PDP has been in the vanguard of democracy in this country, to the extent that I believe that the PDP should set the pace for other parties to follow. Around the world, you know, younger people are taking over government, you know, across the globe. You know, Nigeria cannot isolate itself from the global trend. Just today, Diomaye Faye was elected, you know, president of Senegal, just next door. He's 44 years. You know, yesterday, Simon Harris took over leadership of the major political party in Scotland, and he's primed to become the next Prime Minister of Scotland at 37. You know, so the youth should actually be assets, you know, to our nation in contributing to nation building, and not a disadvantage.
What about experience? Because party administration is largely experience of administration and political activity.
You can liken that to someone who has just graduated with a first class in the university, and then before he gets a job, he said he should bring 15 years experience. Fresh out of university, top in his class, and the major requirement or the impediment becomes, you know, experience and no longer qualification. You know, experience is built. You know, I've been in this vocation for 21 years. I think it's enough, you know, to have built enough, you know, capacity.
But you've done all that at the state level. You've never had opportunity to run the party at the national level. And that's those who will say, I mean, is the shoe, if you want to replace Yocha Ayu, is that shoe not too big for you? What has been your experience at the national level? You want to carry on your shoulder the burden of leading perhaps one of the largest political party on the continent of Africa with little or no national experience of party administration.
That is exactly what the party requires at this time.
Lack of
energy.
No experience of administration.
New energy, new thinking to take the party to a new level. Look, there are leaders in this party. We have people like the former vice president, Namadi Sambo, the former governor of Kaduna State, McCarthy. There are several leaders of this party who have become so docile because of the lack of cohesion, you know, because of ego spinning in the party. We need somebody who is bold enough, courageous enough, young enough, with the energy to one. Exactly. I'm primed for that position.
Do you know another person that is vying for this from Benue?
Yeah.
You have an idea?
I think I overheard that the former governor of Benue State, Senator Gabriel Suswam, is also running. So I also understand that Mr. Humphrey Abba from Kogi State is running. There are several other people who are running apart from me.
And you think you can level up with the likes of Gabriel Susan, a former governor, a sitting senator, who's been on the ground for several years, who's perhaps understand what it means? Because, and I'll come to some of the thinking in your state and in your party about your personality and what you represent.
Okay, so you see, you cannot contest or vie for a position that is not available to you. Politics is about building, cohesion. It's about when these positions became available 2 years ago, the party sat at the national level and zoned the position of national chairman to the North Central. The position in the North Central was zoned to Benue State. To Benue State, it was micro-zoned to Benue Northwest Senatorial District, that's Zone B. Why? Because Senator Gamade had been chairman from Zone A, Audu Ogbe had been chairman in Zone C. So the only zone that had not produced a chairman in Benue was Zone B. So with the wisdom of the leadership of the party at that time, thought it was proper for somebody from Zone B to be nominated, as chairman.
That's your zone.
That's my zone, so for now.
And that's the zone of Senator Gabriel Suswam also.
No, Gabriel Suswam is not from that zone. Gabriel Suswam is from Zone A. That's where Senator Barnabas Gemadi comes from.
So that's the reason why you think you are better than Senator Suswam to become the PDP national chairman.
For now, Sheon, I'm unopposed because I happen to come from the zone that is supposed. Look, section 47, subsection 6 says that when a vacancy, such a vacancy occurs, somebody will be nominated, another party member will be nominated from the area or zone where that vacancy has been created.
But in this
fortunately, I happen to be the only one
the
from that
Benue zoning does not apply to this section of your party constitution that you are quoting.
Absolutely, it does.
It does not.
It does, because if the constitution says, in section 6 says that it should go to the area or zone, I don't think it could be more explicit than that.
Because the Benue politics has been zoned into Zone C, Zone B, Zone A, but the political formation or arrangement in Nigeria does not see Benue State as such. It is the political structure of the people of the state that sees it as such. That is not the official structure of Benue State.
Apart from zoning, there's what is called micro-zoning. You don't just zone a position to the North Central and leave it open for all the
Does your party talk about constitution, about micro-zoning?
No,
it talks about zoning.
It talks about zoning, but it is a convention.
But does not talk about micro-zoning, because I've studied your party constitution very well, but it doesn't talk about micro-zoning.
If the constitution says that the position should go to the area or zone that vacancy has occurred, it clearly implies microzoning. That's what it means.
All right, so let me ask you, you are seen as carrying the image and the personality representative of former Governor Utaan. And this was the same person who was said to have pushed Senator Yocha Ayu for this position. Now they fell out, and now you are coming to replace him. You are a man of Governor Utaan. Is your promoter, isn't it?
It would be really unfair, to His Excellency, former Governor Samuel Utaan, to peg this on him. At my age, I think I am old enough to be able to bear responsibility for any opinion that I hold. It would be quite unfortunate to label Governor Samuel Utaan as being the one who orchestrated the removal of Dr. Ayu and is also bringing somebody to take over from Dr. Ayu. You are ascribing too much powers to a single individual.
But is he your promoter or not?
No, absolutely not.
Does he endorse you or not?
Absolutely.
Is he pushing you or not?
For now.
Are you a close ally to him or not?
Of course, I cannot.
Have you always been working with him? You have helped him to take Yocha Ayu to court, and you are denying Samuel Utaan as the man who has inspired you to want to do this.
No, like I told you, I did not remove Yocha Ayu. Yocha Ayu was suspended by his council.
But you went to court.
I went to seek the interpretation of our constitution, because the party was back and forth, between the National Working Committee and the Igaro Council that stood legitimacy, for Yocha Ayu to continue. Somebody needed to step in.
But in real time and the political mappings in your party, you are saying as the G5, the Governor Utaan backed candidate as against former Governor Suswam backed by Atiku Abubakar. That is what is playing out in your party at the moment?
It will be quite unfortunate to label this context in that context.
But that's what isn't that
absolutely not? Absolutely
in
not.
In the political arrangement, isn't that where you fall?
I don't think if you call Gabriel Suswam on this program, he will tell you he's been sponsored by the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. I don't think
I'm saying that that's where you fall in terms of the political arrangement in your party.
The reason why I aspire right now is to heal those differences.
Have you spoken to Atiku Abubakar?
No, I'm still doing a lot of consultation across the country, and I'll definitely speak with him.
So, is it right to say that you are more of an Utaan person than you are to an Atiku Abubakar?
Absolutely not. I'm a member of the People's Democratic Party who is interested in bringing new leadership, bringing new energy, bringing new thinking to the party to the extent that we can prepare to build ourselves and win the next general election.
So, you wanted to feel just about 2 years left on the Yocha Ayu time?
Absolutely. The position belongs to the North Central. It will be really unfair, to allow somebody who is not from the North Central, not from Benue, to fill out, the entire 3 years of a 4-year term of Yocha. Look, just November, a few months ago, November 2023, we lost the former national woman leader of the party, who is from Cross River. The party nominated somebody from her zone, from Cross River, and the name was forwarded to the National Executive Committee of the party. It has been ratified, and she's a new woman leader. It is only natural justice that somebody from the area or zone that you came from, represents the remaining 4 years.
Since you are the man who goes to court to test things, maybe you have to test that and seek the court interpretation. Because where I'm sitting and what I'm looking at in the interpretation of your party constitution doesn't mean microzoning, it means zoning. But we'll see how the court and your party interpret it. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Tahili Conrad Utaan, who is a candidate or aspirant to the national chairmanship seat of the People's Democratic Party. Thank you so much. And we wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
Whatever side you belong, either the Atiku or the Utaan side.
No, the PDP side.
Thank you indeed.